Those years in quest of honor mine. Chapter 101. Princess Royal Angwo's face was green one moment and white the other. She couldn't be more embarrassed than now. Helpless, Zhonwan hadn't wanted to eavesdrop. Yushi had stayed in the palace for one whole day and night. After Zhonwan had arranged the matters regarding Baidi, he returned home to wait for the news. Hearing that Emperor Chang'an wasn't faring well, Zhonwan couldn't sit still anymore and he went outside to try his luck and see if he could pick up Yushi. Turned out, he was actually kind of lucky. After he waited for 4 hours, Yushi left the palace. When Yushi had just stepped foot outside, Zhonwan originally wanted to disembark from the horse-drawn carriage. However, he caught sight of Royal Princess Angwo approaching, and she even had an urgent expression. Thus, Zhonwan thought that the less complications the better and hid himself. Never had he imagined Royal Princess Angwo would mention matters concerning himself. And it became even more inconvenient for Zhonwan to say anything. But the words Yushi had said just a while ago stabbed his heart and Zhonwan could not help but softly respond in the carriage. Zhonwan thought he had been very quiet, yet they heard him. Afterwards, by being just a bit careless, he had embarrassed himself. Yushi thought about how Zhonwan had heard his words, and felt even more awkward than Royal Princess Angwo felt. He pretended to choke from the ashes of the imperial edict. He wiped his face. Impatient and in a rush, he said, "Let's return to the estate." Royal Princess Angwo looked at Zhonwan. In a flash, she lost confidence in lecturing Yushi. In this critical moment, although she hated Zhonwan, she could not outwardly offend him. Otherwise, it would bring her inconvenience. Secretly, she felt regret. Then all of a sudden, she felt somewhat disappointed and frustrated. Just a while ago, she had mocked Emperor Chang'an in secret for not seeing the situation clearly, but wasn't she doing the same now? She had long since been unable to control the situation, had long since been unable to control Yushi. Wanting to say something but unable to, Royal Princess Angwo looked at Yushi and could only watch on as his carriage shrank into the distance. On the way back to the side courtyard or Prince Yu's estate, Yushi still felt a little unhappy. It didn't matter if he said those words to Princess Royal Angwo, but to let Zhonwan hear them seemed to. However, Zhonwan really liked hearing them, so much so that he wanted to hear more. Zhonwan pretended not to have heard anything and said in a soft voice, "Just now, you said we are an appropriate match." Yushi paused and leaned away from him. But Zhonwan moved closer. "You also said you and me and are a match made in heaven." Yushi started to grow a headache. He massaged the center of his brows. He changed the topic by saying, "The imperial edict I just burned said that the new emperor must follow the laws of the previous emperor for 30 years. Did you know in advance that there would be such an edict?" Zhonwan couldn't hide it anymore and could only admit to knowing. When circumstances are urgent, there really is no reason to deliberately complicate an issue due to trivial matters. It's not guaranteed that we can't crash our way through this obstacle. My number one priority is protecting my life. Regarding these insignificant things, just let other people do as they like. That's why I didn't tell you. Is this an insignificant thing?" Yushi did not like settling old accounts. He did not question in detail about how Emperor Chang'an tried to coerce Zhonwan and stayed silent for a while. Then he said in a cold voice, "Right now, he can't even get up. Why does he still think he can order me around?" Zhonwan said softly, "I heard that he had a paralyzing stroke." "Yes, he can't speak clearly anymore. Half of his body is paralyzed, too." From what the imperial physician said, Yushi shook his head. "We can only be more sure of his condition 2 days later." The imperial physician didn't dare to speak, but I still understood that this illness can only grow worse and not better. Zhonwan said, "This actually saved us a lot of trouble. Prince Yu is probably thanking the gods profusely right now in his prison cell. Emperor Chang'an had become a cripple. Finally, Yu Muchen no longer had to worry. However, we'll have a bit of trouble, Zhong said in a soft voice. I just heard Royal Princess say that the Emperor wants to make you the heir apparent to the throne immediately. I'm afraid that Prince Yu would turn around and see you as his opponent. You. It's no bother, said Yu Shi, not caring the slightest. We've already done what we should do. It's fine if we can just watch them from below. I can pretend to be crazy, pretend to be sick and just let them yell among themselves. Zhonwan said, after learning that the Emperor went through a stroke, I told my people this news and to not worry about me anymore. They just needed to do things according to what Prince Yu wants. Is he afraid he can't pull the Emperor off the throne? Yu Shi sneered. After a moment of thought, he said, these past years, Yu Muchen colluded with many people in secret. It's just that it's hard to tell normally. He has long since found a way out for himself. However, what you did was right as well. After we return to the estate, I will also instruct my people like you did, and in passing, have someone talk to Tang Qin. A sigh left his lips. That old bastard probably already knows without us telling him. Zhonwan thought for a moment and smiled, speechless. Then he said, could the heavens really be protecting him? It's such a coincidence that I heard what Royal Princess had said just now. Once she had seen me, she knew I also knew about what you two were talking about. She feared I would manipulate you through pillow talk. If so, things would be miserable for her in the future. Right now, she has already turned around to Prince Yu's camp in all likelihood. Yu Shi thought about it, then smiled as well. 8 years ago, who would have thought that Yu Shi and Zhonwan would be in the same faction today? No matter what, they were trying their best to reverse the verdict of Prince Ning's case. Everyone in the world hoped for the verdict to be reversed, so it had to be done. Now that they were at this point, there was nothing Yu Shi and Zhonwan needed to do anymore. After some more thought, Zhonwan said, there's still something important. Are there enough people in the ones you sent to protect Qian Rui in the shadows? Yu Shi nodded. Practically all the family soldiers I've been raising in secret these past many years are guarding him. Don't worry. He won't die. I'm worried that Prince Yu would truly send him back to the capital. Zhonwan furrowed his brows. Watch him attentively. Prince Yu's people will definitely act. Your men must snatch Qian Rui away at once. Then, as according to our plan, hide Qian Rui well. We must make everyone think he truly died until you smoothly ascend the throne. Following that, Zhonwan warned in a low voice, don't lose him. If he really returns to the capital, you and Xianjing will lose your lives. Yu Muchen wanted to make Qian Rui a puppet emperor. As such, he would not allow Emperor Chang'an's sons to live. Perhaps Qian Qian would be spared, but Yu Shi and Xianjing absolutely would not be. The royal capital was currently akin to a life-or-death game of chess. No matter what step one took, there would still be chess pieces lost. But as long as Yu Shi became the emperor, the least amount of people would die. Zhonwan and Yu Shi did not like killing people. Yu Shi nodded lightly. Don't worry. Yu Shi was very clear on what Zhonwan feared the most, to squander all their hard work while trying to reverse Prince Ning's case. So, he tried to set Zhonwan's mind at ease, saying, I've already planned where Qian Rui will be taken. First, we'll put him under house arrest at a place with good weather. Then, after 3 years, when everything is settled, I will send him to Qianan. If he's content with his lot, I'll appoint him Prince Qianan of the 3rd rank. Qianan would still be his, but... Curious, Zhonwan asked, but what? Impatiently Yu Shi said, but he's not allowed to come to the capital and see you. Laughter spilled from Zhonwan's lips. He nodded. I promise you that I will not see him again. They reached the side courtyard of Prince Yu's estate. It was morning already. Zhonwan disembarked from the carriage and looked at the sun that just started to rise, a deep sigh escaping his lips. They finally returned home. The two had rushed about for a whole day and night. Now that they were back, they separated to take a bath and changed clothes. Indeed, today's court session would be extremely chaotic. Zhongyuan did not want those imperial clan members and high-ranking officials, who were unable to make any sense of what's happening, to scold Yushi. After he had washed up and changed clothes, he summoned Steward Feng. Zhongyuan told him to tell the palace that Yushi had taken care of Emperor Chang'an for a whole day and night without break. Not only that, Yushi was very broken-hearted and worried about Emperor Chang'an, so he kept throwing up blood. He fell sick very quickly and now, he couldn't get out of bed. Steward Feng rushed to agree. Before Steward Feng could enter the palace and spread this piece of news, the palace servants delivering the imperial edict had already arrived. All of a sudden, the stroke-stricken Emperor Chang'an finally summoned the court ministers atop his dragon bed during such a hopeless situation. Using his non-agile tongue and inflexible left hand, he explained to them that he would appoint his bastard son the position of crown prince. Because his stroke had come so abruptly, Emperor Chang'an could no longer bring Yushi to offer sacrifices to the gods, telling them Yushi would be the next emperor. Everything became far simpler. There were now 3 handwritten copies of the same imperial edict by Emperor Chang'an. One was hidden under his pillow. One was with royal Princess Angguo. And one was under the watchful eyes of the 5 cabinet members. After suddenly receiving the imperial edict, Zhongyuan asked Yushi, "What did the imperial edict say?" Yushi shook his head. "The emperor didn't let me see it. Royal princess promised me that it did not mention you at all." After some thought, Zhongyuan said, "The emperor actually doesn't trust royal princess. He's afraid that the princess would turn around and help Prince Yu, and as such, he left behind 3 handwritten copies of the same imperial edict. In this way, if Princess Royal destroys her copy, there would still be the other 2, and it's impossible for them to be tampered with." Yushi carelessly put aside the imperial edict. "He also doesn't trust me, so he wouldn't give me a copy. Let them fight as they please. Let's eat and then sleep." The two were exhausted to the extreme. After eating some rice congee carelessly, they lay down in bed. Without speaking too much, they fell asleep. When Zhongyuan woke up, it was already nighttime. Yushi was still asleep. Without a sound, Zhongyuan climbed down the bed and left the bedroom. He asked the family soldier keeping guard outside something. The family soldier shook his head and said in a low voice, "Don't worry, young master. Everything is normal and there is nothing urgent. The spies sent a few letters. Does young master want to see them?" Zhongyuan nodded. He received them and read them one after the other. Indeed, there was nothing urgent. Or perhaps he should say there was nothing urgent to do with him and Yushi. At last, a wave of relief washed over Zhongyuan. He burned those letters and returned to the bedroom. At the start, he wanted to continue sleeping, but under the hazy candlelight, he noticed that Yushi's expression seemed strange. Yushi, who was lying in bed, furrowed his brows tightly. His expression wasn't very good. It seemed like he was having a nightmare. Yushi had not slept well for a long time. Zhongyuan didn't know whether it was better to wake him up or let him continue sleeping. After hesitating for a while, he softly called out, "Suiyu, Suiyu." Yushi remained asleep. Zhongyuan frowned. All of a sudden, he had a thought. Yushi's mental issue had probably flared up when he was questioning Royal Princess Angguo at the palace gates. Currently, Yushi's mental issue had improved. When he truly went crazy, it wasn't as bad as it had been in the past. He could control himself now, and could even remember what happened during his bouts of insanity. However, as long as he did have a bout of craziness, he for certain wouldn't be able to sleep well that night. It went without saying that he would toss and turn in bed, but it was even more difficult to wake him up. And if one actually did manage to wake him up, Yushi wouldn't be able to tell if he were still dreaming or not. His expression would be poor to the point of frightening. Like right now. Zhongyuan didn't dare to shove Yushi awake like he had done so in the past. Instead, he coaxed him as he was coaxing a young child. He lightly patted his chest. As he did so, he noticed something. He opened up Yushi's top and took out a paper bag hidden in a breast pocket. He shook it. The tea leaves inside rustled. Never had Zhongyuan expected Yushi to be hiding this. Zhongyuan had personally selected each tea leaf in this bag. He was the most clear on how many tea leaves had been inside. Zhongyuan weighed the bag in his hand for a moment. He guessed that Yushi had only eaten one leaf during that night he had gone mad. Yushi couldn't bear to eat any more. Zhongyuan gripped the tiny bag of tea leaves and sighed. It truly was incomprehensible. He must have accumulated a lot of good deeds in his previous life. Luckily, the person he adored also liked him so much. Still gripping the bag, he wondered whether he should take some tea leaves out and feed them to Yushi. But he and Yushi were different. He didn't have any hope that these tea leaves could cure Yushi's illness. In fact, he thought the imperial physician's heart-nourishing soup had a better effect. Of course, that slow-acting soup wasn't that effective either. Yushi's complexion grew worse and worse. Zhongyuan's pupils trembled. For some reason, he raised his hand and dropped the curtain. A short while later, past layer after layer of curtains came some ambiguous sounds from the bedroom. In such a way, Yushi fell from a nightmare to a charming and gentle dreamland. In 10 minutes, Yushi roused. Again, his dreamland merged with reality. After feeling what Zhongyuan did, Yushi really went crazy. Unable to endure it any longer, Yushi dragged the person under the covers up. In a loud and rude voice, he said, "You're still awake in the middle of the night. What are you doing?" Yushi's handsome look seemed to have been carved by a knife, his skin moist with sweat. In his eyes were a sense of bearing patiently and desire. Under his stare, Zhongyuan's ears reddened. Yushi's eyes were clear. He did not seem crazy at all. To be questioned by Yushi like this again, Zhongyuan had his confidence suddenly plummeting. Could it be that he had never gone crazy in the first place and Zhongyuan had just overthink things? Had Yushi only been having a normal nightmare? Then didn't I really stay up until the middle of the night, taking advantage of the fact he was asleep to give him a blowjob? Although Zhongyuan was a shameless person, at this moment he still felt like ending himself. Yushi frowned a bit. "I'm asking you why you didn't sleep. Why did you suddenly?" Incomparably embarrassed, Zhongyuan said, "And nothing." "Enough. Go back to sleep." Yushi was speechless. Go back to sleep? Zhongyuan had truly angered Yushi to the point where he lost all steam. He sucked in a deep breath and did something he normally wouldn't do. Yushi explicitly pushed his lower body against Zhongyuan and faintly said, "This kind of sleep." Zhongyuan really wanted to hide himself in a hole. Yushi cocked a brow. "What's wrong?" Zhongyuan could only say the truth. "I thought you were going to have a fit again and wanted to wake you up." Yushi fell silent for a moment, then he said, "With this method." Zhongyuan was in despair as he said in a muffled voice, "Yes." There were complicated emotions in Yushi's heart. He drew Zhongyuan into an embrace and kissed him deeply. "I'm not ill. Don't worry." Then, Zhongyuan hesitated before saying, "Should I continue to help you?" Yushi shook his head and kissed Zhongyuan on the lips again. "Don't move. I want to kiss you." Zhongyuan let Yushi kiss him all over until he was soft and pliant. He quietly said, then, "Should I use my hands?" But Yushi did not let him move his hands at will, restraining both of Zhongyuan's wrists against the pillow with a hand. A good while later, Zhongyuan said in a quiet voice, "There's still another way. Do you want it?" Yushi paused. Their gazes met and Zhongyuan's face grew completely red. With much difficulty, Zhongyuan said, "Suiyu, I kind of want to do it." Yushi glanced at him profoundly. Can your body take it? Zhonwan softly said, yes. You can do whatever you like. Once more, Yushi kissed Zhonwan and murmured, you're the one who said it. Before dawn arrived, Steward Feng quietly opened the bedroom door. With his head lowered, he carried a basin of hot water inside. When the couple on the bed heard his footsteps, they became quiet in a flash. A while later, there were sounds of fake ugly snoring. Steward Feng left the room. At the first glimmer of light, Steward Feng entered the room again carrying clean clothes. The bed was shaking. Within many layers of bed curtains, Zhonwan said in a hoarse voice, don't. People will come soon. But the other person on the bed didn't seem to have heard him, forcing Zhonwan to say a few words in a sobbing tone that Steward Feng dared not listen to. Steward Feng rushed to put down the clothes and retreated. Once the sky was fully bright, Yushi let down the bead curtains in the bedroom. Bare-chested, he draped an outer robe over his shoulders, pushed open the door, and instructed the servants to prepare the morning meal. End chapter. Those Years in Quest of Honor Mine. Chapter 102. Steward Feng walked into the room alone while carrying a box of food. Yushi tied his hair up and softly ordered, take the water basin out and bring in a new basin filled with hot water. In a little bit, prepare some hot water for a bath. There was hidden delight on Steward Feng's face. He lowered his voice and asked, should I bring the bathtub in? Yushi said, yes. Don't add those messy flower petals anymore. He's annoyed by them. Yes, yes. Steward Feng peeked inside the room and lowered his voice to inquire, is a servant required? The corners of Yushi's lips curled up slightly. He shook his head. Steward Feng continued to whisper, then you don't need to call someone to clean up the room inside either. Yushi shook his head again. No. Steward Feng didn't dare to say anything else. He set the box of food down before immediately retreating. Yushi opened the box of food by himself and scooped out a bowl of porridge. He drew back the curtain of beads and walked into the bedroom, then set the bowl on the small table next to the head of the bed. Upon lifting up the bed curtains, he noticed that Zhonwan had already opened his eyes. He asked, still not getting up even though you're awake? Yushi placed his hand against Zhonwan's forehead to test for temperature. It wasn't hot. Zhonwan fidgeted awkwardly. His voice was a bit hoarse as he said, I don't have any energy left. If you don't let any servants in, who's going to clean this stuff up? Yushi kicked the two sets of undergarments and bundle of blankets that had been thrown onto the ground away slightly. After drawing the bed curtains all the way back, he said, I will. Yushi sat next to the bed and pulled Zhonwan up from the blankets. He stuffed a soft pillow behind the other's back and picked up the bowl of porridge. Eat. It's not that bad, Zhonwan burst into laughter. Give it to me. I can eat by myself. Don't move. Yushi moved the hand holding the bowl away and softly said, stay still. Zhonwan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. It's not like my hands are broken. I'll go eat with you at the table. There's no need. I'm not in a rush. Yushi furrowed his brows. Don't move around for no reason. With no other option, Zhonwan could only obediently let Yushi feed him. When serving Zhonwan, Yushi was always very careful. This had been true when he had fed Zhonwan medicine in the past and was also true now. He blew on every spoonful of porridge twice and would also touch the porcelain spoon to his own lips. Only after ensuring that it was no longer hot did he feed it to Zhonwan. If he accidentally got a bit of porridge stuck to the corners of Zhonwan's mouth, he would set the bowl down and use a handkerchief to wipe Zhonwan clean before continuing to feed him. Gentle and thoughtful. Compared to last night, Yushi seemed like a completely different person. As Zhonwan thought back on everything that had happened last night, his back still felt numb. He swallowed a mouthful of porridge, then quietly asked, why are you suddenly being so good to me? Yushi paused. He inquired, aside from when you first returned to the capital, when have I not been good to you? Last night. Zhongyuan was a bit uncomfortable. He inhaled sharply. I even thought that I was going to die. Yushi stirred the porridge with a porcelain spoon. He glanced at Zhongyuan and said in a low voice, weren't you the one who said I could do whatever I wanted? To that, Zhongyuan had no response. Besides, Yushi fed Zhongyuan another mouthful and continued, you like it when I treat you like that? I know. With the porridge in his mouth, Zhongyuan's ears flushed red. Yushi wasn't wrong. Zhongyuan was too embarrassed to keep acting. He obediently ate his porridge. The whole night, he hadn't slept for too long. Zhongyuan was already very hungry. If he were eating by himself, he would definitely end up with an upset stomach from eating too fast. Now that Yushi was slowly feeding him each bite, Zhongyuan felt like the inside of his stomach was nice and warm. It felt a lot more comfortable. I'm full. You hurry and eat, too. Don't wait until it goes cold. Zhongyuan knew that Yushi was for certain hungry too. He urged, don't bother with me anymore. But Yushi ignored Zhongyuan. Open your mouth. He really liked taking care of Zhongyuan in this diligent manner. He disregarded what Zhongyuan had said and patiently fed Zhongyuan 2 whole bowls of porridge bite by bite before letting him stop. Yushi drank the remaining porridge himself, then wrung out a towel so he could wipe Zhongyuan's face. Again, Zhongyuan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. There's really no need. I can do it myself. But Yushi still refused to listen. After wiping Zhongyuan's face, he wrung out the towel again and started wiping Zhongyuan's hands. Zhongyuan had an unknown thought, his expression froze. All of a sudden, he panicked because of how Yushi was treating him. Zhongyuan observed Yushi's expression in a careful manner. He pressed his lips together and tentatively called out, Suiyu. Diligently wiping Zhongyuan's hands, Yushi didn't look up. Zhongyuan hesitated for a moment. Though he knew in his heart that he was probably overthinking, he still couldn't help feeling anxious. Zhongyuan had never encountered any good situations in this lifetime. He didn't dare to be greedy and was always fearful that he would one day take a great fall and be in even more pain. He was a bit paranoid. After pondering for a long time, he lowered his voice and said, I suddenly thought of something. You. Tell me the truth. Yushi lifted his gaze and glanced at Zhongyuan. He realized that Zhongyuan was uneasy. He furrowed his brows. What do you want to ask? The jut in Zhongyuan's throat bobbed up and down. He hesitantly said, you must tell me the truth. Don't make me constantly worry. Yushi held his breath, signaling for Zhongyuan to proceed. Very apprehensive, Zhongyuan asked, regarding what we did last night, you aren't thinking of doing it with me just that once, right? Yushi was speechless. From last night until now, Yushi had been in a great mood. Though he was a bit wicked toward Zhongyuan in bed, he personally felt that he was being quite gentle after everything. Yushi honestly couldn't understand why Zhongyuan always asked these random questions to ruin the mood during these peaceful and affectionate times. Yushi sucked in a deep breath. He was truly lost. Guiyuan, what goes on in your head every day? It's just that, you know. You kept going on and on last night, and you're being so good to me today. You've made it so formal. I was worried, Zhongyuan swallowed. Don't be mad. I just had a sudden thought and wanted to figure you out. Once again, Yushi was speechless. A sudden thought. Figure you out. Yushi didn't want to darken his expression toward Zhongyuan. He did his best to hold himself back. He pushed the rage down and praised against his will, then aren't you such a clever little thing? Yushi grabbed a set of clean undergarments and helped Zhongyuan change into them. His movements were very gentle. He wanted the previous atmosphere back. But he hadn't given a direct answer, so Zhongyuan was still uneasy. He couldn't help confirming once more, it really isn't only happening once, right? Naturally not. Yushi was close to dying from anger because of Zhongyuan. Why would you have such a thought? Zhongyuan inhaled sharply. Yushi couldn't take it anymore. For our first time, I originally wanted to wait until the dust had all settled before preparing a valuable present for you as compensation and as a dowry. Then, after you completely recovered, I would carefully make preparations and choose a lucky date to do what we did last night. Everything was so rushed last night. Right now, I'm trying to do my best to compensate. Yushi's good intentions had all been for naught. He didn't even want to help Zhongyuan change anymore. It's no matter that you're unhappy, but are you cursing me to only be able to do it once? No, 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 said Zhongyuan, rushing to save the situation. It has nothing to do with you. This is one of my own private worries. I've always thought that you would only be willing to do it once in your lifetime. When have I? Yushi was so angry that he couldn't form clear sentences. Is my thing going to break in half after one use? At the sound of those words, Zhongyuan grew shy. It's so impressive. It naturally wouldn't. Yushi was speechless again. All of a sudden, Yushi's lover had praised his skills in bed in such a direct manner. The fury in his heart faded away at once. Completely helpless, Yushi could only continue helping Zhongyuan dress. Zhongyuan had just experienced the exhilaration of a lifetime. He was at ease now, so he started being intimate with Yushi in a completely unburdened manner. He took the initiative to kiss Yushi on the lips. Following that, he softly asked, "Why are you so wonderful? It's not like we can get married. What's there to prepare?" Yushi's temper disappeared entirely. He closed the last button for Zhongyuan and replied, "I'll make it up later." Zhongyuan didn't ask what the valuable present was. He slightly lifted his head and licked the crease between Yushi's lips. He wanted a deeper kiss from the other. Yushi pressed Zhongyuan against the head of the bed and taught him a lesson. Finally, he was no longer angry. Outside, Steward Feng knocked on the door. Yushi let go of Zhongyuan. After Zhongyuan had finished cleaning up, Steward Feng entered. In embarrassment, Steward Feng said, "Something's come up. They fear that there will be a delay, so they told me to come tell Crown Prince first." Yushi said, "Speak." Steward Feng walked a bit closer and whispered, "Yesterday morning, after Crown Prince and young master returned to the estate, Royal Princess Angwo went back to the palace. She took care of the emperor for 4 hours, then left the palace. Technically speaking, Royal Princess had worked hard enough. At the time, the emperor had already issued his imperial edict. The imperial decree naming the crown prince had been announced, too. After leaving the palace, Princess ought to have returned to the princess estate to rest, but she didn't. Princess then went to visit the imperial clansmen. Yushi and Zhongyuan made eye contact. Yushi calmly said, "As expected." Steward Feng said, "I don't know what the princess said to those elderly clansmen, but we have a spy in one of the families." After the princess left, he discovered some information. Apparently, they made a secret plan once the princess was gone, saying that if they make the former Prince Xianrui, emperor, each estate and family will have played a role in helping the emperor ascend to the throne. In the future, they'll definitely be awarded greatly. They also said. Yushi ordered, "Just say it." Voice full of hatred, Steward Feng relayed, "They said that the crown prince's temperament is wild and arrogant. He was also raised by someone with a different surname. In the future, he definitely won't be generous towards the members of the imperial clan. It isn't hard to imagine all the harsh treatments that are to come. Why not just set up a puppet so everyone can continue to live in glory and wealth?" Laughter spilled from Yushi's lips. They actually got that right. Steward Feng continued, "Right now, the higher-ups are telling everyone that the emperor has an acute illness. After a few days, he'll get better. However, our spies have learned that the emperor is already completely incapable of speaking now. He can make sounds but not words. No one can understand him. The half of his body that was affected by the stroke has been completely paralyzed, too. The imperial doctors still dare not be too absolute in their diagnoses, but basically, it seems that he won't get better. Right now, they're just waiting it out. Zhonwan asked, how much longer can he hold on? Steward Feng lowered his voice and said, at most, 3 months. At minimum, it's possible that he could die at any time. Additionally, regarding Prince Yu's situation, Prince Yu first said that the death of the former Prince Jianan, Xian Rui, was odd. He fears that someone is trying to cut the grass and remove the roots. He also said that he knows how much he has sinned. As of now, karma has already hit him. He doesn't want to aid the villain any longer. He wants to seek justice for Prince Ning. Yushi narrowed his eyes. Did he mention Xian Qiang? Steward Feng wiped away his sweat. Yes. Prince Yu said that Fifth Highness's actions now are entirely in imitation of what happened back then. He wants to work with the enemy to harm his brethren. Zhonwan bit his tongue in shock. He's really going all out this time. From the start, he couldn't protect Xian Qiang anymore anyways, Yushi said in a low voice. We were quite good at keeping the Baidu situation a secret. He hadn't expected that it would be exposed at this time. Prince Yu is resolute, though. He knows that he can't keep Xian Qiang safe any longer, so has simply turned Xian Qiang into a stepping stone. How is Xian Qiang now? Steward Feng said, when he first got locked up in the imperial clan court, he could still somewhat protest that he had been wronged, but after learning that Prince Yu was the one who had implicated him, he completely lost his mind. Our scouts have looked into it. Apparently, he's lost all of his wits. It will probably be difficult getting any answers out of him now. Naturally, any kind of blame can be placed on him at this time. Zhonwan sighed. As of now, Xian Qiang had already become completely useless. Yushi asked, what about the Empress? Steward Feng shook his head. The Empress was originally someone who didn't have strong intentions. She's currently fallen ill too. Currently, Royal Princess has actually become the one in charge of the Emperor. At the beginning, the senior cabinet officials didn't dare to tell these things to the Emperor, but this morning, Royal Princess Angguo told him everything when she entered the palace. Just moments ago, the Emperor fainted once again. Those who have suffered strokes can't handle being provoked. When he wakes up after this time, who knows if the other half of his body will be paralyzed or not too. Upon hearing this, Yushi didn't seem sad or happy. Karma. Steward Feng said, our people are asking if we should continue to watch the fire burn from across the bank. And Yushi answered, naturally. End chapter.